Hello, mighty Mustangs. It is I, Mr. Sorensen, and I'm here in the cafeteria, and I have some exciting news. When you come down to the cafeteria today, you will notice that it has been transformed into something more magnificent than it was before. And we're super excited about the changes. We have brought some brand new furniture in here and some brand new tables to replace kind of the brown tables that we had in here before. These are our more versatile collapsible tables. It's going to make this a more usable space and a very pleasant place to be. It already feels lighter and nicer in here, and I'm very excited about it. And we have some new procedures to go along with these new tables to make our lunchroom move smoothly and to make sure everybody can eat and be happy and have friends and everything. So, very exciting stuff. As you notice, all of the tables have been placed so that they are facing this one wall. Now, you're wondering, why on earth would we make everybody face this one extremely boring wall? Well, the answer is that this extremely boring wall is not going to be extremely boring for very long. In fact, we have coming very, very soon two 80-inch televisions that are going to go here on these walls, and they're huge and they're beautiful and they're very exciting, and we'll be looping some interesting content on them, maybe some Jimmy Fallon or some good YouTube videos, something that's entertaining and enjoyable to watch during lunchtime. In addition to that, the art department from the district is coming in and painting a beautiful mural on this wall, so it would be a very interesting wall to look at, and we're very excited, and we couldn't put in a wall that cool without having everybody look at it. All right, so let's talk about the procedure of how do I get lunch in the new lunchroom and where do I sit. So you begin here in the lunch line, as you always have. So we'll travel down the lunch line, and I'm going to go into this area, as I always have, to make my food selections. And I'll come in here and I'll get chicken sandwiches and bananas and chocolate milk and whatever. Just as I always have. That part doesn't change. And I will come out here and I'll put in my lunch number, as I always have. But here's where it gets different. After I put in my lunch number and I'm ready to take a seat, I'm going to take my lunch and I'm going to walk this way. Dun-dun-dun, and I will keep walking, and I'll keep walking, and I'll keep walking. And I'm going to travel and travel and travel. Now, this area right here is a little bit more open. So if you're waiting for 2 or 3 friends that you want to group with, this is the place to do it right here. This is where you're going to group up. Please don't do huge, massive groups of 300 people. It's not going to work, okay? But if you're waiting for 1 or 2 people, this is the place to wait right here. And after I've got all of my friends and we're ready to march, you know, like the 7 Dwarves or whatever, we'll travel this way. And we're going to go all the way along this wall to the next available table. And we have to use up all the space because these cool new tables, as neat as they are, there are just slightly fewer seats than there have been mathematically. So we have to use all the space. So I'll come to the first table that has available seats. And then I'm going to travel all the way to the end of that table to the next available seat on that table. So if I'm the very first person in the lunchroom, I'm going to end up in that seat right there. And then I will fill it all the way here, filling every available space all the way along this row. And when this row is completely full, then the next people will start filling the next row back. All right, now the last thing we need to talk about is what do I do when I've finished eating lunch? And you have 3 magnificent choices. Magnificent choice 1, presumably you're sitting near your friends. You're welcome to sit here in this lovely, comfortable space on this beautiful furniture and talk with one another. And you may stay in this cafeteria. The one condition, and you can even move around to a different seat once everybody's finished eating. The one condition is that if you're going to stay in the cafeteria, we need you seated in a seat. So you can move around, you can be around your friends, but we'd like you to remain seated at a seat until the bell rings to excuse you. Now, if sitting isn't your gig, you've got 2 other options. You can go out those doors back there, and you may go to the gym to view or participate in intramural sports. That's for those of you who are slightly more antsy, and for those of you who are not terribly into sports but are just antsy enough that you just like to stand around with a large group and talk with your friends, you may exit through those doors out there and go outside. And the weather will be nice in the spring, but for right now it's a freezing waste, so my pick would be in here. Anyway, those are your 3 options when you've finished eating lunch. We're going to make this lunchroom just a lovely place to be. Good luck, Mustangs.